be there to take my place.
Welcome to this month's edition of Tea Tasters. Now, this month on Tea Tasters, we've got an absolute treat for you. We have got some fine tippy golden orange pekoe that's been specially made for us under Twinings, under some superb supervision in the Assam region of northeast India. So absolute exclusive. And the aromas coming off it are really, really pungent. I can really smell it straight away. Now, Assam region is a really interesting part of India. And when you get to look in the tea, I think it kind of represents the area, because you see a lot of chunky proportion of fine golden tips. And I say represents the area because you do get a lot of good quality teas from Assam. And these golden chunky bits that you can see, or the golden chunky tips in the leaf, are representative of high quality hand plucking that you don't find in many other different parts of the world. Now, Assam is not only the name of the tea, but it's the name from where the tea comes from, or the region. And the Assam region straddles the southern part, or the southeastern part of the Himalayas, and has international borders, of course, with Bangladesh and the magical sounding kingdom of Bhutan. But slightly closer to home, the Assam region has 6 other sister states that surrounds it. Arunachal on the north to the northeast, and then Manipur, Nagaland only on the east, and then if you look slightly more to the south, and finally, should I say, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. So 6 or 7 beautiful states that are in this part of India. Of course, Assam producing these beautiful multi-black teas. Now, to put it into perspective, Assam is roughly about the size of Ireland. So about 30,000 square miles, which is 78,000 square kilometres, for those of you who prefer to use the kilometres. And of course, this is where the Camellia sinensis assamica is harvested. And it's one of the 2 main harvested tea varieties from the Camellia sinensis that we talk about on Tea Tasters. Now, this leaf differs from the China leaf that we might sometimes talk about, in that the leaf grows predominantly around sea level, and it prospers in the humid conditions that are found on the huge plains that cover this area. So there we have it, a Numalighur Assam, a lovely sounding name, and one which has got a bit of a story to it actually. Numalighur takes its name from the Thai people that have traditionally been in the northeast or Assam parts of India for many generations. And of course the Thai people has led to that people being called many different names throughout the part of Central and Southeast Asia from whence they originate. So in China they're called the Dai people, in Burma they're given the name Shan people, and in Vietnam, Tay, Laos, Lao people, and of course in Thailand, Thai people. However, with regards to our tea this month, the Numalighur, Numalighur is an Assamese word, and Numali means youngest daughter, although in the context of the name of this tea, it means the location of of someone royal, or a royal prince or a royal princess. And Gar, of course, means a rampart or a land or hill fortification. So Numalighur meaning a royal her or him land fortification. And interestingly, the ground defences from where this name takes its tea is still prevalent in this part of India as a large man-made dike. So if you're ever around National Highway 37 in the Assam region, you'll be able to see that there today. Anyway, back to our tea that we're going to take a look at now. Let's brew it up and have a taste. Now, the origins in terms of it being discovered is credited to one Robert Bruce, who in 1823, whilst trading in Rangpur, came across the locals chewing, drinking and cooking with this tea. And of course, he was absolutely fascinated by its use, and found it akin to the China leaf that of course was already popular as a regular beverage. But of course, as the trading monopolies in China were now being opened to stern competitions around the time that Robert was in Assam, it felt like a naturally good choice to be able to see if this particular type of tea could be harvested. And although early methods of Assam teas made them very pungent and extremely malty, and thus not over favourable to the palate, improvements to the way that the tea was harvested and advancements in processing meant that it becomes the multi-cup that we know today.
When I'm gone, you need love to light the shadows on your...
Now there are 765 gardens in Assam producing 570 million tonnes of black tea a year, which is about 13% of the global total. Aside from that, there are tens of thousands of smaller solo and family gardens. So Assam has a rich quantity of tea producing areas that produces some of this magnificent tea. But we've spoken about where this particular tea comes from. But what I want to do is I'm going to make some up in the tea tasting crockery in the teapot, and we're going to have a look at the flavours and aromas that this tea has magically stored up for us. Okay, so we're going to make this up in our crockery. You can see these beautiful chunky golden tips that I was speaking about. And the great thing about Assam is you can almost smell it as much as you can see it. It really is a powerful tea. Now I've got a nice heaped teaspoon there. See it almost falling off the edge of the spoon. I'm just going to pop into the cup, and of course I'm going to use 1 spoon per person for the teapot and then 1 extra. So I'm going to bring the teapot along now, and we'll just put the right quantity of tea into there. So it's not a science making tea in a pot, and I always believe the more generous you are with the portions, the better the intensity of the flavour that you'll get from the pot. And if you want to be getting a bit more interactive with the tea, you can actually use 2 fingers and a pinch instead of teaspoons, of course making sure that your hands are clean first. So I put I'm going to put a little bit more because I'm always over generous with my tea. A little bit more tea in the pot there, and of course I'm going to fill both the tasting crockery up. There we go, beautiful. And the teapot. And of course, as we always say in Tea Tasters, a good 3.5 minutes for this brew to work its wonders, and for us to enjoy an absolutely perfect cup of tasty tea.
Waves shall fall, it'll fall upon us all, and between the sand.
We've given our Assam 3.5 minutes. You can see the colour, lovely ruby red colours come to life in the pot. Now, Assam really is a quintessential Indian tea, and I'm sure when we taste this, we're going to find out why. So, I'm just going to pop my tasting crockery in there. I always normally find Assam quite rich and robust. Astringent and wonderful are words that I use to describe Assam. I'm going to look at the liquor there, it's absolutely gorgeous. And the aroma is it's a nice toffee, thick barley aroma. Absolutely unmistakable, and you almost get as much pleasure on the aroma, what I do, as drinking the tea itself. Absolutely gorgeous. You can have a look at this wet leaf in a second in a bit more detail, and you'll see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But let's have a look at the taste now. Unmistakably Assam. It's at a luxuriously creamy texture with a sweet buttery overlay, and it still has those powerful spikes of maltiness, malted barley running through the tea. This is an absolutely wonderful tea. It really is everything that a tea should be, and for those of you who do enjoy to take a bit of milk and sugar, this is going to accompany this tea absolutely perfectly. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a decent tea that isn't Assam in the mood that I'm feeling this morning. And hopefully on Tea Tasters, when you taste this tea, you'll be feeling exactly the same way and feeling exactly the same passion that I am right now.
A way to make it back someday, towards you, to guide you through the darkest of your days.
I hope you've enjoyed Tea Tasters this month. This month on Tea Tasters, of course, the Numalighur Assam. A rich, malty, quintessentially Indian tea that's great with lots of sweet cakes and biscuits, brilliant with milk. So this has been Tea Tasters. Until next time, happy tea times.